Bernardo Pinango will face Troy Dorsey, who is hoping to become the first fighter in history to hold world championships in both kickboxing and boxing. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. Welcome to the premiere of the Saturday Sports Showcase, and let us get right to it. Here's the ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon.
All right, fans, here we go as Forum Boxing in the Las Vegas Hilton presents one of our featured bouts, 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner and wearing white trunks. Fighting out of LA by way of Caracas, Venezuela. His weight is 125 pounds and his record 23-4-3 with 15 wins by way of knockout. Welcome the former two-time world champion, Bernardo Pinango. And as opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks and hailing from Dallas, Texas. His weight 126.5 pounds, with a record 10-3-2 with 8 knockouts. Welcome the NABF featherweight champion, the destroyer, Troy Dorsey. The referee in charge now to give instructions, Carlos Padilla.
So the referee, Carlos Padilla, gets the fighters together.
Okay, Dorsey, Pinango, you were already giving instructions. In
Troy Dorsey with the slight height advantage.
5 seconds will be responsible for any mistake.
Dorsey 126.5, Pinango 125 pounds. Troy Dorsey at 10-3-2, 8 by knockout. His most recent fight, losing that disputed split decision back in early February here in Las Vegas to Jorge Paez, while Bernardo Pinango, the 30-year-old from Caracas, Venezuela, at 23-4, 3 draws, 15 by knockout. His most recent fight back in December in Puerto Rico, he stopped Tommy Valoy in 6 rounds under Nevada rules, scoring on the 10-point must system, handled by 3 judges. 3 knockdown rule in effect, no standing 8, and the bell saves the fighter only in the final round. The question concerning Pinango, is he still world class, Ferdy? He is the one-time WBA junior featherweight champion, the one-time WBA bantamweight champion.
He'll find out when this afternoon is over with, because Troy Dorsey's going to give him continuous pressure as he's done from this opening bell. He's a very well-conditioned fighter. His corner has him smothering the other fighter. That's their words. They smother the other fighter with pressure and with non-stop punching.
Dorsey, a 3-time world kickboxing champion in the featherweight and bantamweight division. He burst into the rankings with upset wins in terms of boxing over Harold Rhodes, and he stopped previously unbeaten Anthony Boyle. That was back last February, and that earned him the shot at Paez. And you recall all the weight problems that Paez had when he went up against Dorsey. He was a drained fighter, and many folks, including you, felt that Dorsey won that fight.
Yeah, I thought no question about it. He had won it, but that's the way it goes in boxing. He's back on the ladder. He's got to crawl back up with a very good showing here in order to hope to get a rematch with Paez. So this is an important fight for both men.
Dorsey in the black trunks, Pinango in the white. Dorsey likes to continue banging from close range, and he does have excellent stamina. However, there is a lack of power in his punches.
I think he can't turn over his punches enough, but this is his fight right here on the ropes. This is what he had Paez doing, backing him off to the ropes, and then his superior strength as he puts his head in there and punches is what gets him these rounds. They're not devastating punches. They're not really hard boxing punches. What they are is they wear you out.
Well, Dorsey's manager, Dave Gorman, has told us on a number of occasions that technically Troy Dorsey is not the best fighter in the world. Said, I know it, he knows it, but he has what it takes to win. This is the start of our boxing from Las Vegas. And that is it for round number 1. What does the Fight Doctor scorecard tell us?
I gave that to Troy Dorsey because of his superior aggressive behavior. He pushed the other guy back. You know, that kind of round shows what kind of legs Pinango's got. If he hadn't got good legs, he's in for a long, long afternoon.
And we are delighted to welcome you to the premier show, the Saturday Sports Showcase. Next week, it will feature the PGA Championship. In 2 weeks, the Rumble from the Jungle as we flash back to the 74 meeting between Ali and Foreman. You revisited Zaire, made it back.
I enjoyed it.
Unscathed.
Enjoyed it and brought a little friend with me in the form of a microbe. But onward and upward.
All right, and the second part of our boxing doubleheader here will feature Jorge Paez defending his IBF featherweight championship against Louis Espinoza. What will be difficult? What will be different, I should say, about the rematch here?
I think the difficulty is that Espinoza's fighting two people. The critics that have fueled Paez's extreme determination to make up for a bad showing last time. But in the meantime, in the second round, Troy Dorsey picks up right where he left off. Savage attack. Again, we have to watch the legs of Pinango. Remember, these fighters are veteran fighters, and then all of a sudden the legs go and they're standing targets for young kids like Troy Dorsey, who comes ahead.
And down goes Pinango. So Troy Dorsey sending Bernardo Pinango to the canvas here in the second round.
So much for answers to that question. Now the next question is, what kind of finisher is Troy Dorsey? He's got 2 minutes to do the job.
Pinango is known as a boxer who has a good chin. He has been knocked down only twice in his career, and he did get up to win both of those bouts.
He's taking big punishment right now. He's about to quit. Padilla is looking at him very closely. Dorsey yelling with every punch. That gets the attention of the judges. You know when he's thrown a hard punch, he gives it a big holler. Much like the rebounder from UNLV, Moses Scary, screams.
And Pinango,
Where's the referee?
in major trouble. Padilla taking a close look. Just under 1 minute to go in this second round.
Clear shots, clear right-hand punches by Troy Dorsey. Now, he doesn't have that kind of power, but he's certainly landing enough of them. The cumulative effect should put Pinango out of here.
Pinango went down earlier in the second round, appeared as if he was on his way down again, now holding and hitting, and you saw Padilla shove his hand away.
Pinango has very little left in his punches, nothing to hold Troy Dorsey up. There, bear in mind, there's no standing 8 count in this fight.
We'll be back in a moment.
Today's Saturday Sports Showcase is brought to you by Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars. By Crest, the dentist's choice to help keep your teeth tartar-free. And by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Here's that spectacular knockdown. The right hand that's been landing all during that round knocked Pinango right on his back. He got up and he fought bravely. Had there been a standing 8 count, in effect, he would have taken it right here because he buckled into the ropes. That's when you give him a standing 8, but there is none, and the round continued.
And this is round 3. It is scheduled for 10. In the black trunks, Troy Dorsey, 27-year-old out of Dallas, Texas. And in the white, the 30-year-old from Caracas, Venezuela, Bernardo Pinango. Man who's had a standout career, winning the WBA bantamweight title in a surprisingly easy decision over Gabby Canizales some 4 years ago. Made 3 defenses of that title, winning all 3, including a championship victory over Frankie Duarte. He won the WBA junior featherweight crown 2 years back and then lost the title 3 months later to Juan Jose Estrada.
What we're seeing here is almost a limp dish rag of Pinango. He has no punch. His legs are not carrying him away from the bull-like rushes of Dorsey. Dorsey is getting a little right hand crazy. He's gotten a little rich with that right hand, and he's throwing it without any preparation, just flinging it. He's got to go right back to business, right back to digging in, rushing in as he punches, like that right there. He's got to move in behind a jab and then throw that right hand. See, that's what he can't do. Those wild looping right hands, it's just amateur. That's amateur night. Even if the punches don't land, at least the judges know he threw a hard punch by the yelling that he's doing. Not a bad technique.
Yes, Troy Dorsey very animated. You can hear when he unleashes whether they do land or not.
Oh, Pinango with a nice little volley. Nothing on his punches, but at least he's fighting back a little bit. Pinango fighting back, trying to get a little bit of room to wander around the ring and not take those punches on the ropes, but that's Troy Dorsey's main strength, that he follows you around. He's got great legs, and he just pins you to the ropes, and you can't get away from him. Look at the way he puts his head in there and punches.
Pinango also low with several of his punches. He often holds and hits and is frequently called for low blows, but as you say, not much in terms of power on the punches being attempted by Bernardo Pinango. Final seconds of the 3rd round. Well, Jorge Paez awakening from that pre-fight nap, getting ready to go up against Luis Espinoza in the rematch. That is the second part of our boxing doubleheader here on the premiere show of NBC Saturday Sports Showcase. It is round number 4 with Troy Dorsey in the black trunks going up against Luis Espinoza in the white. I should say going up against Bernardo Pinango in the white. Pinango put down in the second round and then able to hang on.
Well, he hasn't done what he needs to do, which is a lot of lateral motion, and he hadn't done that because he's got 30-year-old legs, and more importantly, he's got Troy Dorsey right in his sternum. He's right in his chest. If he's not got his head in there, he's got his glove in there. He is controlling the fight. He's controlling the action as Troy Dorsey. Pinango has got to come awake and recover enough because, in my opinion, he's blown the first 3 rounds.
Scoring is on the 10-point must system, handled by the 3 judges from Nevada: Dave Moretti, Cindy Barton, Lou Talbot.
I don't think Pinango's ever fought anybody like Troy Dorsey. I don't think anybody's ever fought anybody like Troy Dorsey in professional fighting because of his mixed background. He doesn't plant his feet right. He's throwing his punches from all angles. And one of the most important factors, Pinango is a junior featherweight. Dorsey is one of the strongest featherweights in the world. And that is coming to bear on the outcome of this fight right now.
Yes, the question going in concerning Pinango was, is he as strong at 126 as he was at 122 and 118 pounds?
And the answer apparently is no. He's not. On the other hand, he didn't have to fight a bull like Troy Dorsey in those lower weights. One thing about Troy Dorsey that you like, he's so well trained that he focuses so relentlessly on his task at hand. You don't see him dilly-dallying around thinking of other things. His mind is 3 minutes of straight fighting.
And Dorsey always in excellent condition. He's a stablemate of Steve Cruz. Dorsey's manager, Dave Gorman, credits Troy for helping Cruz come up with one of the big shockers of back in '86 when he had stopped the previously unbeaten WBA featherweight Barry McGuigan.
I don't know if he stopped him or the Las Vegas Heat stopped him. That was some fight.
Yes, a rough late afternoon.
Right in the blazing sun.
That is it for the 4th round. We'll be right back.
Let's take another look at this quick knockdown before we return to the action. See, it was right flush on the jaw. Pinango without the legs goes straight down, and we progress on to round 5, and more of the same as Dorsey's pinned him already to the ropes.
That knockdown taking place in the 2nd round. This is scheduled for 10 with Pinango in the white trunks and Dorsey in the black. Marv Albert with the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. Good left hand by Dorsey. That clipped Pinango.
Pinango has a bad habit of hitting on a break, almost taking any advantage he can. He doesn't look like he's in wonderful shape right now, Pinango. He's holding on as Pinango. Look, he has no legs. They're folding under him. Pinango's 30-year-old legs have quit in advance of the rest of his body.
Minute gone by in the 5th round.
No more of Dorsey spars each day 3 rounds with a 140-pound fighter and 3 more rounds with a 160-pound fighter. Imagine what it feels like to get in with a 100.
Oh, look out. Dorsey went down as he attempted a lunging right hand, and Pinango just stepped away and then bows in the direction of Dorsey.
It landed in the air. That's a very amateurish right hand, and he just shouldn't throw it without preparation or setting his feet. Because of the kickboxing things, he doesn't set his feet like a boxer does, and therefore he's completely out of proportion.
What's your feeling about the unorthodox training procedures of Troy Dorsey?
Well, when you're going to fight in this weight and you're as strong as he is, I like that idea. I mean, unless he's fighting with a world champion, but good, strong competition, much heavier than you are. Then when you get in with these lighter guys, it just feels like you're lifting feathers. It's like nothing.
Like swinging the heavy bat in baseball, preparing for your actual at-bat. Incidentally, Dorsey, as a kickboxer, has a record of 29-1 with 16 knockouts. He also owns the fastest kickboxing knockout, a 9-second KO. And a low blow.
Very, very low blow. That was a warning should have been given with that one.
Dorsey with that strong right hand landing.
But that was a perfect one. It was left-right. Now that's what should be landing. A left jab in there, and then that strong right hand. Pinango's resting on the ropes already, getting any kind of relief he can.
That is it for round 5.
Watch the technical deficiency that Dorsey has. He didn't set his feet right, so he went right past him and fell down. Now here's the low blow by Pinango. Now that is what you call a classic low blow, and should have drawn an official warning. Oh, beautiful right hand by Dorsey.
This is round 6. Dorsey with the hands down low, very confident.
Pinango has nothing left to hit him with. I mean, even if he hits him flush, he's got nothing left in his punches. Very tentative, very wishy-washy. He's been taking a shellacking through 5 straight rounds.
Are we looking at a shot fighter in Bernardo Pinango?
I believe that is, he's on the cusp of being.
On the cusp.
And I think he's going over the cusp with this fight. I mean, these kind of fights don't improve your chances of making a recovery. They just push you into further being shot.
Bernardo Pinango, one-time WBA junior featherweight title holder, one-time bantamweight champion. At the age of 16, he won a berth on Venezuela's national amateur team, won a silver medal for his country in the 1980 Moscow Olympics, and turned pro in August of '81.
Pinango is in slow motion. Following that last good combination by Dorsey, he held on and took the efforts of Padilla to get him pried away so the fight could continue. He is hurting right now. He just doesn't have anything to keep this windmill off.
Referee Carlos Padilla, formerly of the Philippines, now living in Las Vegas, and a referee 23 world title fights, including the Thriller in Manila. Good combination again by Dorsey as we come up on 1 minute left in round 6.
I can remember our worry, how would he handle Joe Frazier and how would he handle Muhammad Ali in that fight? He's so little, and he voiced the same kind of worry and yet did a great job.
This is the first part of a boxing doubleheader on the Saturday Sports Showcase. Coming up later on, Jorge Paez defending his IBF featherweight crown, getting ready to go up against Louis Espinoza, the one-time WBA junior featherweight champion.
And if there's one fight Paez would like to have back, it's the Dorsey fight where he was so washed out. He really wants to fight Dorsey back. That's what he's thinking about. How can I get this guy back in here?
Paez had no difficulty making the weight for today's bout, and he is back to his animated self. He was down in the hours prior to the Dorsey fight, not his usual self.
Well, having lost all that weight, he was semi-conscious during that time.
Zestfully clean.
On to round 7 from the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel. It has been Troy Dorsey having his way. Dorsey in the black and Bernardo Pinango in the white trunks.
And Dorsey's been doing something a little different. Instead of just powering him to the ropes, he's been keeping that what he calls power distance so he can punch from outside. And of course that right hand has been gonging right off Pinango. Even when it's amateurish, it's really doing some damage. The power distance that he refers to is about the length of the jab. He's instead of having his head right in his chest pounding away in close, he's outside. And of course that is what's causing the right hand to land with such force.
It looks like Dorsey has a mouse under the right eye, like a cut.
He does. He must be butting heads because he's not getting hit that much. He's got a good cut man in Ron Hatcher, so I don't think that's going to be a factor.
But here's Pinango succeeding with the combination and showing some spark.
The first good spark that he's shown, still no zip in the punches. Nothing on the punches, but at least he's throwing them and backing Dorsey up. First time Dorsey's backed up.
Pinango landing with the uppercut.
That's the first time that Dorsey has had some competition in this fight, and he doesn't look like he likes it. His mouth is open, some unsavory to say, some spit drooled out, indicating he's a little tired as Dorsey. That little exchange, even though it wasn't hard punches by Pinango, is taking its effect.
One of Dorsey's weaknesses has been lack of defense, and he has been caught here in the 7th round. And now cuts under both eyes of Troy Dorsey. Holding and hitting by Pinango.
Oh, that uppercut to Pinango's landing is doing damage on Dorsey. If he just had some steam, he would have Dorsey in some kind of problem right now. That uppercut is causing Dorsey to blink and back up.
We approach a half-minute left in the 7th round. A big round for Bernardo Pinango. He's done it with combinations. He's done it with uppercuts. And he has turned things around after the good start by Dorsey.
Well, Dorsey's got such a running head start that Pinango's going to have to keep this up for the rest of the fight. But he has made us interesting. Good right hand by Dorsey. That long amateurish right landed.
This a solid action round and a good one for Bernardo Pinango.
Dorsey getting hammered by Pinango here by a variety of punches.
And down goes Pinango. As this 8th round got underway, Dorsey unloading and put Pinango down. That's the second time he's gone down. And Dorsey now looking to finish it. Big right hand by Dorsey. So Pinango goes down again. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect.
He is in rocky shape. He's looking, and he cannot go anymore. The fight is over.
Carlos Padilla calls it. This after the difficult time that Troy Dorsey had in the 7th round, but he was able to come out and unload on Bernardo Pinango. Here it is, coming right out of the corner, opening seconds, and he caught Pinango with the right hand.
That was the same right hand that had been landing all along. Second knockdown, you can see he's just in no condition to continue. His head hits that bottom rope, and it is just an impossibly, watch the running head start. Talk about fast break, a man with a mission. Here he comes. Watch the right hand. There's a jab. Right hand right on the button. Talk about a fast break. That's it in boxing.
Troy Dorsey accelerating out of his chair in the corner. And unleashing the right hand on Bernardo Pinango. What a turnaround in the 7th round when Dorsey had difficulties with the uppercuts of Pinango.
Well, guts he's got, energy he's got, strength he's got, defense, no.
I was beginning to wonder if Dorsey was making a mistake by abandoning his style of smothering opponents. You had the idea he was trying to prove his power, but he's not a power puncher.
No, well, he proved today that right hand can land from left field, but he can't do that against a real good live fighter like Paez. He can't get away with that.
Still to come on the Saturday Sports Showcase here on NBC Sports. It will be Jorge Paez defending his IBF featherweight crown. A rematch of the sensational bout they had in Phoenix last May. We'll be back to talk with the victor, Troy Dorsey. But first, we'll return to Don Criqui and the NBC Sports Update.
Very shortly, we'll be talking live with basketball coach Jim Valvano. But
34 seconds, the official time of round number 8. Dorsey put Pinango down in the 2nd round, and then coming out of his corner in the 8th, connected with the right hand. Pinango able to get up as Carlos Padilla directed Dorsey to the neutral corner. And then just seconds later, Dorsey was able to end it. Here it is. Troy Dorsey, who had a rough time in the 7th round, in fact, was cut under both eyes, able to come out with the explosion in round number 8. Back to talk with Troy Dorsey right after these messages. Back in Las Vegas just moments ago, it was Troy Dorsey, the 3-time world kickboxing champion, stopping Bernardo Pinango 34 seconds into round 8. Pinango, a 30-year-old out of Caracas, Venezuela, 1-time junior featherweight and 1-time bantamweight champion, stopped by that man, Troy Dorsey. Let's go to the fight doctor.
What in the world did they tell you in the corner to get you coming out there like a rocket and landing that right hand?
Come on, Troy, settle down, relax, and get in there and do what you do best. And that's pretty much it.
I thought you were throwing that right hand too far out, but everything that landed with the right hand knocked him down. Now let's see what your right hand looks like, and you can see that the effect of those power punches went 2 ways, on his jaw and on your hand.
Yeah, it's a swollen monster, and I mean, in the telegram it says Troy Dorsey's weaknesses, power. This guy's never been knocked out. I knocked him out, so I proved a little bit there. I want to say happy birthday to my grandfather back in Mansfield, Texas.
What do you want to say to Paez?
I want to say let's get back in the ring and do it again. They offered him the fight for this time, and he passed it up. I wanted it. The TV people want. Everybody wants it except Paez. He's a coward if he don't get back in there with me and do it. He's not a true champion.
He deserves the shot. Troy deserves a shot back at Paez. If anybody deserves a shot.
Dave Gorman, the manager, somewhat prejudiced, and now, thank you. Back to Marv Albert at ringside.